What's up, guys? So I'm doing some recovery. I'm thinking about today's session. I hit another big number, hit a 395 back squat. No, 395 front squat, one take only. 395 front squat. And I've just been thinking about how I've been able to progress, gain strength, and some key things that I think I can take away and give to you guys, again, in this short little clip. So one of the things that I've really tried to incorporate is lifting at a very heavy, and that's a very relative term, and we'll break that down, and lifting heavy often. That's another term we're going to break down. So what I mean by lifting heavy is this relative perceived intensity, or your RPE, of at least an 8, 9, and a 10. Not all three at the same time, but like the range should be an 8, a 9, or a 10 at least once a week, and that is the often. So you're not lifting for a PR. You're just trying to test your body and work on the skill of getting stronger. So you have to stimulate the central nervous system, right? Like if your body's not used to a certain heavy load, how are you expecting yourself to get stronger? Like if that is the goal, you have to test strength pretty frequently. And that frequency can be, every 3 days, every 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever fits for your body. And so diving a little bit deeper into lifting heavy as an often, which is Elijah Muhammad's main program that he uses. And I agree with that quite literally, because I've been doing that, not following his program, but lifting heavy as an often. And with the strength part of everything, I'm lifting probably about a relative intensity, or an RPE, of about 8 or 9 once a week for my back squat, front squat, some type of deadlift or clean, snatch, and a strict press. So those are my big main lifts right now. I'm trying to get really strong before I approach open season for CrossFit. And so I've been trying to not one rep max, but get more efficient, more technical, and ultimately stronger for each lift that I just talked about. And so, week in, week out, I like to make adjustments. Like today, for example, my back squat wasn't feeling great, but when I was warming up my front squat, I felt excellent. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna make pretty big jumps, 20, 30 pound jumps here and there, and we're just gonna go big and see what happens, right? I think by doing this for the past year, my body is trained to lift heavy. It's not a shock to me, and I don't feel uncomfortable lifting heavy. I am more confident in my lifts because I practice it week in and week out. And then also too, the confidence builds, and there is almost no fear of failure. There's a fear, I would say, actually, but there isn't a doubt. I'm not disappointed if I don't hit a lift. Of course, you would like to nail every single lift you do, but that's where you also learn how to program around that RPE for your body. On a given week, if you're super fatigued and your legs feel awful, okay, you might only need to hit an RPE of 7 or 8 for the day if a heavy single is prescribed. And typically, I like to just prescribe that at the end of the week on a Friday or Saturday. Typically, most people get off work a little early, or they take off Friday completely. Saturdays, same deal. You have more time for activities, even a Sunday day. I rest on Sundays, but for people who, go all out on the weekends, maybe not Saturday, but yes, Sunday can be your heavy lifting day or what have you. But take that extra time to warm up and really push that, again, relative perceived effort or intensity for the day to an 8, a 9, potentially a 10 out of 10. And again, this is a disclaimer, and I'm not a professional or medical. This is just personal advice from what I have done, which I've seen very, very firsthand in the past 18 months, 12 months of it working for me, is I would only do this if you have no underlying injuries, you are eating how you're supposed to, you're not drinking as much alcohol as you possibly can, you are hydrating correctly, you are following up with your mobility week in and week out. Because if you don't do those things and you do the wrong things and you lift at this heavy of an RPE, most likely you're going to get hurt, right? It's a very intense type of training, similar to, a Bulgarian or a Chinese weightlifter. So I've been watching a lot of their stuff and trying to mimic, a sort of their type of training, where again, I'm lifting heavy for, again, the back squat, front squat, some type of press, strict press or bench press, some type of heavy clean, some type of heavy snatch, every single week. Again, at a relative RPE of 8, 9, or 10. Listening to the body and really being okay, that was about as heavy as I need to go today, And I try to do those lifts for the most part without a belt, without sleeves, without wraps. On the Saturdays where I really do hone in and lock in and try to achieve that RPE of 10, I will belt up. I will use sleeves. I will use my lifters, whatever I need to accessory-wise to obtain that stimulus and be safe about it. So I hope this is helpful. Again, this isn't for everybody, as if you're going to be lifting at that intensity that often, you really do need to keep up with your body. So again, not a doctor, not a professional, but I'm just speaking from experience. If you don't keep up, your body will break. Thank you guys for listening to this video, and as always, peace and much love. Happy training.